Okay. Let me get us set up, but
That music brings me back.
yeah, have
Brings
to
me back.
let's get the screen sharing up here.
Oh,
There we go.
all right.
The
Nice.
finale. It's time.
It's
And
time.
this is what it's all about. It's been so long since we've done one of these. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back indeed. We are, what, 8 minutes away from extended bidding kicking off?
Yes, 200K. Grail of all grails. Couldn't have ended on a more perfect day. It was written January 9th, 1999. Base set releases in the US. So this is like so appropriate that it's ending today. Another historic moment for collectibles, for the blockchain, for all of it. So super excited. Um, thanks for everyone joining. Tall guy, the man, Shep Hauser. Let's see what happens together, right? Final 7 minutes. Yeah, definitely the biggest auction to date, the man. Um, by far, by far. I'm trying to think of the most expensive card that sold outside this. Must have been like I think we had like a first edition Venusaur. That was like a $10,000 card. So this is definitely next level. Um, but we got lots of other Heat 2 that are already in extended bidding. We got the Poncho Pikachu. It's a major fan favorite. I love this one wearing the freaking Charizard poncho. Of course, Charizard's OG rookie card. Polygon in the chat. That is, love to see that. Do need to catch them all. Let's see. I want to bring Jim up, our Pokemon master.
What's up, guys?
What's up? I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yes, I'm in Salt Lake City at our vault, so I don't have my camera. I'm just adding it on right now. Give me 1 second.
Oh, cool. Making sure everything's good at the vault for this Charizard. It's important.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on this week at the vault. We've got a big holiday backup of cards that all of our amazing dealers sent to us over the last few weeks, and we've got a lot to process and a lot of good heat coming to the marketplace over the next couple of months. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I mean we obviously have the hottest of them all. This this right here. So right now, just for context setting, if you happen to be watching, so this is first edition Charizard PSA 10 Holy Grail of Pokemon cards. There are currently, let's see, it is now at the 25 mark. So if nobody places a bid on this card in the next 5 minutes, it is going to sell to the current highest bidder at 200,000. This is a card that needs very little explanation, introduction, but yeah, Jim, what would you what could possibly be said about this card?
I mean, nothing that hasn't always been said about it. It's the card, right? Like you said, it's kind of the holy grail. I mean, it's not an illustrator, but at the same time, it's like the first edition card, right? I mean, you see sales of these cards going for 200, 300, 400,000. I mean, during COVID, this card was hitting almost 500K when people were going really bat blank crazy about it. So it's just it's such an amazing card. I wish I could afford this thing to put a bid on it, but maybe one day. But it's so cool. And I was actually just on the phone with the dealer we purchased this card from a few minutes ago, and so maybe we'll see him come in and drop a bid on here. But yeah, he's one of our very, very close friend dealers, Maverick. He's a great guy.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe he just now that he sees it up here, he couldn't let it go. He's going to come back.
Yeah, we will see. But yeah, we've got some other really amazing cards in here. When I jumped in, you were talking about your favorite, the rookie card, the Bandai Charizard, the Prism, which is one of my favorites. I love that card. But yeah, we do actually have some even, and this is a bit of alpha for you guys, but we have some even pre-rookie cards that are going to be coming onto the site soon. And these are some Pokemon cards that were made in 1994 and 1995 that are going to be coming on in the next couple of weeks. Just sealed the deal on a few of them today, and it's going to be pretty great to see them at the top of the vending machines and up in auctions sometime soon.
I think I know what you're talking about, but that's news to me. That's amazing.
Yep, it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, I do love that Shining Charizard there. One of the first shiny Pokemon ever, and this led to the Black Charizard, and all of us shiny hunters can rejoice that Pokemon decided to make different colored Pokemon.
And it just, of course, so black shiny works so well for Charizard.
It does, yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, past auctions, all the action happens at the last minute, the last 30 seconds. So This is a very different caliber we're talking about here. Past auctions is usually in the thousands. We're talking about a couple 100,000 right now. So basically, the next highest bid on this would have to be, due to the way increments work, would be 220,000. So I'd be really curious to see if anyone swoops in. But I mean, at this point, either way, this is the largest sale of a Pokemon card on chain happening on Polygon. So this is a pretty historic moment.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see that the Poncho Pikachu, the one that's wearing, I think that's Mega Charizard Y up there. Yeah, it is. The Mega Charizard Y Poncho Pikachu is going for quite a bit more than it did the first time that we auctioned those off I want to say like almost a year ago now. So pretty great to see that card sitting at the top up there. I absolutely love it. And actually, one of the cool things is the top card right now that is already into the next window, the French base set Charizard, is a card that's very near and dear to our co-founder.
Yeah.
That was his card before, and he was gracious enough to let us use it for the auction today. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see such high value being placed on cards in different languages as well. French cards generally do very well as Spanish cards, and sometimes you see like the Glurak card, the German cards do pretty well as well. So yeah, it's always cool to see foreign language cards doing good business on the site.
Jim, what's Charizard in German again?
I think it's Glurak.
So interesting to see the names.
Let me see, 1 second. Yeah, Glurak is Charizard. Yeah. So 15 seconds.
10 seconds. Let's see.
Sold.
I think it's sold.
I think so. A cool 200K for a Charizard card.
Amazing.
Amazing stuff. All right, so what did we close there? We closed 4 cards. We got the Expedition Charizard in the PSA 10 down there, which I did think was going to go for a little bit higher. That is definitely a really cool card, but yeah, it's like almost like a buff Charizard, But then we've got the base set in the PSA 7 there, which went for 4K, a little bit higher than I expected. And then that Neo Destiny Shining Charizard that all closed along with it. In case you guys couldn't tell, all of these Pokemon are pretty similar today in this auction. So it's pretty great to see, so many of these fire types in here, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's almost like a theme or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It is pretty crazy. Jim, we were talking before, today is January 9th, 1999, the day that base set launched in the US. So just like how fitting of connective tissue or whatever you want to call it, that this is happening today. It's pretty awesome.
Well, all time is a flat circle, right? So we're selling Charizard at a different point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all happening simultaneously.
Exactly. Yeah. Shout out to the artist on Pokemon that drew this card. Little trivia for the chat.
Mitsuhiro Arita.
I was hoping the chat was going to bring it to us, but yes, you are right.
Oh.
All right. So we got 5 more minutes here, and already that Pikachu poncho is up again. There's only 3 cards left that need bids. We've got that Ruler of the Black Flame Japanese Charizard, which is just such a cool card. Pulled a few of those from Obsidian Flames myself. And then we've got the Sun and Moon promos Charizard GX, and then the rainbow of it right next to it. So
I didn't even realize. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So pretty cool that you can see those cards. That PSA 6 Charizard actually has a pretty funny story behind it. Zach, you want to fill in the chat on how we got that card?
This was in the, what was it? Was this during the COVID days? I can't recall. But long story short, this should have a much higher grade than it actually has. I'd encourage anyone who wins this card to take a look under a microscope and see if it's worth reslabbing for a possible higher grade, because everything we looked at here, this should be closer to a PSA 9. Even I mean, clearly there's something that PSA doesn't like. So we'll have to see.
Yep. I don't know what happened there, but we bought this card raw on a stream, and they had high res pictures of it, and then we brought it to Mint Las Vegas and got it graded, and we were showing it to all the people there, and they were like, "Oh my god, what a card! This is a 9 easy." And we got it back from PSA, and we got a 6. And I don't think I've ever been as disappointed in getting a card back from PSA as getting this card back in a 6. I mean, it is. I didn't even see a single scuff on the edges. It's very well centered. I don't know. There's not a scratch on the hollow on the front. Maybe the IR images that they took revealed something, but
I see some like white dots. Could that be it?
That's probably dust. I mean, it could be on the card, but like when I take it full screen here, that's dust. I mean, we put dust removal on most of our scans, but as some of our users are painfully aware, when you put dust removal on a scanner, you're also liable to lose. Yeah, the man 1516 is right. It does not look like a 6 at all. When you turn dust removal on, you can lose eyes of Pokemon. So we've had a few Chanseys that have showed up on our website just with blank white circles, and it looks a little creepy. So every once in a while, a little bit of dust comes in.
Yeah, we turn the eye removal filter off, right? So chances are not.
Exactly. Like one of my favorites was we had a Slowking that's like munching on its own tail, but it had no eyes, and it just looked like very unsettling without eyes. It was kind of like,
It's a new category of courtyard error cards.
Exactly.
They're fine, but the renderings are errors.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So 9 seconds. Couple might be closing. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
We might have the French Charizard.
Oh, and Drakafu is gone.
Draka for 72.50.
Nice.
That is a beautiful, beautiful card.
Yes, it is. Very cool. Another first edition Charizard. But a first edition Charizard with a shadow. What? Yeah, it's tough. All right, let's see. So that's that Charizard with the 6 on there. I think you crack that, regrade it, you could get an 8 on it easy. But who knows? Maybe send it to CGC. They give it a pristine 10. Who could really know what's going on with grading?
Honestly, that's what I would probably do at this point. Clearly, there was some that PSA just didn't like. CGC might be able to get a little bit more dialed in there. Who knows? But if that was me winning that card, send it off to CGC, see what we can get, make a video out of it, monetize that video, see what happens.
Those videos are always amazing. Like you look at people, they're like, okay, I sent in 5 PSA 10s and 5 CGC 10s to each other, and then like see what happens. It's like, well, I got 4 9s back from PSA and an 8 back from CGC because the centering was off, and like, they end up getting back like 3 10s out of 10 cards. They're just like, well, the value of my collection just dropped like $4,000. It's always fun. I'm always nervous about reslabbing cards.
So Alex asked when the normal quote unquote auction will be. No date right now. Auctions have lately been more of like these special events, but as soon as that happens, we try to communicate everything pretty broadly. So you'll know if we start accepting cards again. But we've definitely been heavily focused on vending machine, adding new machines. There's some pretty crazy stuff in the works that not at liberty to discuss, especially on the Pokemon side. So if you're here and you like Pokemon, you should be paying attention to vending machine. And then just some marketplace improvements. So a lot happening under the hood right now.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, there's really going to be this huge moment of acceleration happening in the next couple of months. A lot of the stuff behind the scenes has been really necessary to keep up with the demand that we see. So we're really excited to put the sort of necessary, but maybe not as sexy, not as flashy stuff that's required to sort of make sure everything is running the way that it should, and really start shipping some really exciting features that everyone is going to be able to take advantage of. So we can't wait to tell more about that. Something might be announced next week that a lot of people are going to like. So stay tuned for that.
I feel like when you're like, something might get announced, it's
well, I feel like things move so quickly these days that like maybe they happen sooner rather than later, but I don't want to overcommit to anything. But at the very least, there's 2 big things that are happening next week. At least one of them is going to happen.
Yeah. Don't rev the engine too quickly.
Exactly.
Well, this is a card that on the Polygon side, one of our favorite people there, Big Nil, who a lot of people, if you're in the crypto space, you'll know him. But he brought up these cards on a stream recently, the e-reader cards, and these are so special to find in a 10 because you were supposed to swipe them or kind of like insert them into it was Game Boy, right, Jim, back in the day?
Yeah, there was a special attachment for the Game Boy Advanced that you could use, and I think it was also on the Game Boy Advanced SP as well. And you could use the e-reader and then scan the card and get special stuff in game for them. So
was this the same thing as the printer attachment for the Game Boy?
I don't think so, but honestly, I don't know. I didn't have a lot of those attachments. I had a Game Boy Advanced, and then my next one was a 3DS. So I was a little bit out of it there for a few minutes on the games because you could play the first 4 gens on Game Boy Advanced, and then Gen 5 came out and it was like, okay, well, do I want to get a DS when the 3DS is coming out next year for X and Y? Like, it just didn't make all that much sense. So yeah, and that was very sad because Black and White 2 are probably my favorite games of all time. They're just so good.
Oh, ooh, looks like it just jumped. It's back in the running now.
Oh, there we go.
Something jumped, not that one. But I think awesome. Okay, so Poncho just closed. So congrats to the new Poncho owner. This is such a beautiful one. We posted a video on our X today showing this card off with like the white glove and everything, and it shines so much in person. So go take a look at your new card.
I see this one in particular, I feel like is going to stand the test of time. And I think future generations of collectors are going to gravitate towards the Poncho Pikachu in ways that aren't currently anticipated today. It's just probably the 2 most iconic Pokemon characters combined in one. It's cute, it's playful, it's unique, and it's already something that is pretty rare to begin with. So I'm excited to see the next generations of collectors value this card at. Certainly has a special place in my heart.
Maybe as much as a first edition Charizard one day.
Hey, it's only going to be more and more years.
Let's not put the cart in front of the horse, guy. I mean, I don't think it'll ever be first Ed Charizard.
Yeah.
What's interesting about these cards is those Charizard ponchos and like all the poncho Pikachus are really high pop, which is interesting because when you look at like how many of these cards actually exist in PSA pop at a pop 10, it's really high, but the sales volume isn't that high. And so it seems to me like people grab these cards and they hold on to them. You see them at shows and stuff, but they're always priced above market because people love having these cards around. And there's, there are upsides and downsides to having things digitally. The biggest downside is on these cards here. And this card actually is pretty good. You can see a lot of the sparkles, but when you hold these poncho cards in person, you like hold them up to your face, the sparkles and the refraction is just so darn cool. And it's the same way with the Prism Bandai cards. The rainbow effect is just impossible to see off these cards. So, I mean, 3 weeks ago, I took some videos for Jake of a few of these cards that I think were posted on our socials. But yeah, without an actual video of these cards, like you just can't get the right effect off of them. It's too difficult.
Totally. It's like they look cool, but it's almost like a extra bonus or benefit. There's a whole nother level to experiencing them in person. That you understand once you're holding it. Let's see. So I think everything's pretty much continuing to move on, and the way that extended bidding works now is that specifically with this auction, it's gonna keep going in 5-minute intervals, basically as long as a couple people want to duke it out. So if you and someone else really want one of these cards, you could go at it through the night. Get your coffee. We're not going to be here, but by all means, keep going at it. Typically, what's that?
There's no limit. This isn't going to end in 17 minutes for sure.
No. So this auction was exactly, there was a twist to this auction that was specifically meant to accommodate the first edition Charizard, but it applies to all the cards. So no, our curtain call will be in 15 minutes or whatever, but if people want to keep bidding, they'll be able to do so. So it'll be interesting to see where things fall. I think technically there is a limit sometime early tomorrow, so it won't go on for infinity.
The threshold is actually, I'm not going to say the specific number, but it's value based, and certainly none of these cards are worth north of $750,000, right? So all of that, this is going to continue to go in 5-minute increments, so that everyone has a fair chance to place their bid, and a little bit of strategy in there as well. When you want to place your bid, do you want to double up when it's already in an existing window, so you're able to snipe it in another window? A little bit of play that we have here. So looks like we have this closing out in 30 seconds. Are these all going to the next round? It looks like it.
I don't see anything that needs a bid. So, I mean, yeah, I think we're moving on all these cards.
All right. Let's see, Jim, which card, right, that we have here is any interesting facts about any of these cards? I mean, I'm going to say no on the Bandai card as I feel like there's so many interesting little nuggets about that one. But is there anything else here that really is interesting that you think is worth highlighting?
Well, I will call out the 2019 Sun and Moon promos card. You guys might notice it's the only like non-full art modern card on here, and all the other ones are yellow bordered cards, right? And this one is too, but it's pretty new. And I don't know much about this card, but when I was looking at it, it kind of like it just has a weird view of Charizard on there. And if you look a little bit closer, it almost kind of looks like that dark Charizard from the original movies, right? Kind of like the when Mewtwo creates the copies of the Pokemon and they have to fight their copies and stuff. It kind of looks like that. I'm not sure if that's exactly where it comes from. I know that this is a promo card, but if you look at the bottom of the card, actually, I was right. Okay, I totally missed this because I was looking at the image, but it says this Pokemon was created by Mewtwo to prove that copies can be even more powerful than their originals. Okay, so looks like I'm old news on this one. Back to you, Zach.
I'm going to rename this one Pouty Charizard because he really looks like he's not too happy with something. Just standing in the corner, he got a side eye, and those arms folded over. His body language is he's not a happy camper.
No, he's a copy.
That's how cards become grails. Is they get a nickname, and then they just take on a life of their own. Think about it. You got Moonbreon, Poncho Pikachu, all these other ones. So Pouty Charizard.
Poutizard.
I like Grumpzard better, but okay.
Grumpzard.
Grumpzard.
We'll see if there's a way. If anyone wants to drop a poll below.
Poutmaster Charizard coming in with the horrible vibes.
Definitely the expedition card is.
I love that card, especially because of the wings, right? Like normally you see Charizard's wings. To me, they look so square on most of the cards that it like doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like how would Charizard fly with wings that much? It's like small, right? Charizard's really not that tall. I mean, in the original game, I think he's like 5 feet something, 5'7", 5'8"? I forget, but like. Oh my gosh, it's right there on the card. How tall? What does that say? I can't see. Your screen's too small.
Wait. 5'7".
Oh, 5. Okay, yeah, he's actually pretty short, right?
Like, 200 pounds, so he's like,
but like he's a big wings to lift off a 200-pound bird. I mean, condors weigh like 50 or 60 pounds. They've got like an 8-foot wingspan, so it's no joke.
What's up, Doug? Thanks for joining. Yeah, there's so much love for Expedition and Aquapolis these days. So it's the two sets. And Skyridge.
Oh yeah, Skyridge especially. There's only one print of that set. So, I mean, right when WotC got rug pulled.
Jim, have you been following the new Pokemon releases like Prismatic and Battle Partners?
Oh yeah. I have a deferred Christmas present for my wife. When those cards come out, I owe her a box of 36 packs because that's what she wanted for Christmas, and so that's part of her present, which is going to be a big box of Prismatic Evolutions. But we have a dog named Eevee, and so that whole set has us written all over it, which is pretty cool.
Oh my god, yeah! You have to get all the evolutions.
Oh, exactly. So I'm thinking, we're gonna probably buy like, at least 100 some packs of it, try and pull at least a few of the full arts, and then make a cool collage in our office about it. So
sounds like a live stream in the future in the making.
Yeah, sure. If you guys want to see the inside of my disgusting house,
Hey, I mean, if you're flashing Pokemon cards in front of us, sure.
Yeah, that's true. No, but I mean, I just got back from Japan a few weeks ago and ripped thousands of Pokemon cards. I'm not even gonna say 100 because it's way too low. I mean, I must have bought probably like 300 packs while we were there. And granted, the packs, a lot of them are 5 cards in Japan, but we did buy quite a bit of 151, which has more cards per pack, and a lot of Shiny Star EX as well. But the cards are so cheap there. Like, what is the American market going to get in line with those?
Why 5 cards? And does the same sort of methodology of breaking open a pack apply where you want to put one in the back?
Yeah, so there is card trick on the Japanese cards. It depends on the pack, though. So on most of the newer packs, it's just one card. So the energy card will be in the back, which is very smart because you want to protect the edges of the card that's in front of it, which is generally the Grail card. I don't know, honestly, why Japanese packs are 5 cards. Probably a piece of knowledge that has escaped me. I bet there's some reason somewhere about it. But, yeah, I mean, the card packs are so cheap. Like, you can get – the pack of 5 cards is 180 yen, which is like $2, right? You can get – I think it's even less than that. Like, 1,000 yen is $6. So you're looking at like $1.20 for a pack of 5 cards. So it's very cheap to buy a pack of cards right now in Japan. Even the Shiny Star EXs, which are like their premium packs, were 500 yen a pack for 10 cards. It's like $3. So, I mean, we're at the Pokemon Center asking them, like, okay, how many packs can I buy of this right now? And, yeah.
Well, what's interesting, Chef, when you were there, you weren't able to take them back in a certain condition. I forget exactly what happened. They like did something on the box to prevent you from making it sealed.
Exactly. Good memory. Yeah, to prevent, I guess, reselling activity, if you want to buy 10 packs, which is booster box, you could buy 10 packs and they'll bring out a brand new booster box for you, but they will take a little razor tool and break the seal right in front of you, which is like, if you're a collector, like, you want it sealed. Like even if you're gonna rip it in 10 years, you want it sealed just in case, whatever. So that was heartbreaking to happen right in front of me. I thought there was like a miscommunication, but then I learned that's policy. So I just
they have to do that, sadly. But you can still sell the sealed packs, which you can probably sell for even more. So
yeah, well, I ripped all of them, so that's just not an issue.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't bring home a single sealed pack of Pokemon cards. I had to see exactly what I had there. But yeah. I do have a cool video of in a card shop. I bought a like an older pack, and I pulled one of the Grail packs, which is not a God pack. It's like 5 cards, but I got the full Pikachu V Union in one pack. So out of the 5 cards, there was like a lightning energy that was a hollow energy. And then the 4 cards behind it were the 4 pieces of the Pikachu V Union card, which is pretty cool.
Wow. Yeah, that
was awesome.
So is that like a demigod pack?
I guess. Yeah. It's 4 cards that out of 5. So I guess, yeah. But it was pretty cool. I was very, very excited about it.
Speaking of those kind of packs, there's a bunch of videos going around right now about prismatic evolutions, because some people have early access to some of the kits, the sets are, and they're pulling god packs. So 1 pack with every evolution special illustration rare, which is insane. J Smooth, I mean, I'm right there with you.
Me too,
I think we talked about the rookie card, which we were talking about, shines so much in person. So yeah, it's crazy history with that card, and the prices have been kind of like at one point were so much lower because no one gave it credit for being the first Charizard card. Everyone thought it was Topson, but now that the record has kind of been settled on that, this has really picked up again. All the Bandai cards, so yeah, they're new status girls for sure. All right, so I think there's after this round, we'll hang around for one more round of the extended bidding, and then I think we'll call it a night.
All right. Let's see.
But I'm still letting it sink in that a $200,000 card sold on Courtyard today. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that really is huge. Just a huge shout out to the team over at Polygon for helping us pull this off and make this possible. It's been such an awesome journey to see from this card, procuring this card, which is a whole challenge in itself. It's easier said than done to find something like this. There aren't that many that are listed for sale. There's a lot of things where you need to find the right people to get access to that, and we worked really closely with them to lock this in. Bring it down to Art Basel in Miami and get people to sort of see the card in person and then send it off with Brinks back to the vault. So it's been a really awesome journey, and just want to express a lot of gratitude and thank the Polygon team for helping us pull this off and auction off this incredible card. So I'm sure there's a lot more in store of just these types of grails that we'll be able to get onto Courtyard, whether they're in vending machine or other new features that folks aren't quite familiar with quite yet on Courtyard. But if we want to hop, let's wait and see what moves right here. We've got, looks like 2 are about to go, the Bandai and all right. There were 3. The Bandai is
and then there were 3.
Yeah, it's going slow.
Yeah, so it looks like this one is so that's going to keep going, and basically until someone bows out.
Little bidding war there. But Chef, if you jump back into vending machine, I'll share a little bit of alpha. I don't think any of this is going to be too much of a surprise if you just see the sort of pattern that's going on here. We launched a sports platinum pack. We've had a lot of people reaching out about a higher price point with some better grails and just more exciting cards. I think it's fair to say that there's going to be a version of this for Pokemon in the not too distant future. So that is going to be a really cool opportunity for people to get a lot of the cards that they already saw in that past auction, cards very similar to that. We currently have the Pokemon Master Pack, which I think is a really great price point. The Bandai card as Charizard is in there as well. We've got some I mean, I love that the baby Mew.
Yeah.
Such a great one. And just like there's what I love about vending machine as a whole is like you don't know what you're gonna get, and it's an awesome way to discover new cards and add them to your collection. That what's that Charizard to the left? I mean, there's a couple.
Top Sun, and we got the 151.
Yep.
Oh yes.
There's, I mean, yeah, this is so many hits. This one, so this card has been climbing because it's the Pokemon Center has a stamp on the lower right. So it was a promo, but it is crazy how much people are hyping this card out. So that's why it's up there. But Zach, totally agree. Bubble Mew, one of my favorites of last year. Still need to add it to the collection, but another card that's been climbing. So.
Jim, do you know the artist for this is like a particular style theme of these cards. Whoever it is like knocking it out of the park. I really like them.
I do not, but I've got about 20 of them, I think, that are at the vault. I just went through a box today, and we've got, I think I have another like 5 or 6 on the table with me right here, right now. And I've got literally just like stacks of cards that I'm you can't really see them unless I put them in front of my face, but I'm trying to search through for one of the really cool cards that I wanted to show you guys earlier. Where did it go? Oh yeah, speaking of that card.
Oh, Bubble Mew.
It's hiding me. There we go. You can kind of see it in here, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, so cool.
Yeah. Got a few of these coming in here, and then one of my other favorites, I think it's up near top of one of our vending machines, is this really cool Raichu card. The whatever, can't really see it great, but the Raichu floating in space card, I absolutely love it. I just think it's so cool. Like, yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see all of those come through one of the vending machines. I'm not sure which one, but always love to see what gets put in there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if by some chance you're not familiar with Courtyard, when you're watching this for the first time, there's way more than just vending machine. Every card you pull goes to the marketplace, which right now, let's see, has roughly around 75,000 cards. So there's probably something you're looking for here. Probably find a great deal. Just tons of stuff being listed literally every minute. So
a little pro tip on the marketplace right now. Some of these improvements behind the scenes are going to really make marketplace a lot more powerful. But if you're really trying to find the card you're looking for, I'd recommend using filters to dial down and try to find the type of card you're looking for. Search, we know there's a lot of opportunities to improve it, but right now I think filters are the best way to really dial in and find the card you're looking for. But let's see, Jake, do you want to jump back to the auction? I want to see what's going on there.
30 seconds left on the Bandai. It's the only one that could close right now, so we'll see.
All right.
I've said price ranges too. That's a good idea for searching for cards.
Yep. There's a way to filter down by newest listed as well. So there might be some great deals of cards that people are listing. So it's always great to pop back in. But again, a lot of updates coming. I know I'm beating a dead horse at this point. There's a lot of stuff that we're really excited to get out to the world.
Looks like Bandai is moving on.
All right.
Wow.
So Doug has been sniping. Love that. So I think so this is a usual place where we would end the live stream, and I think that's our cue this time. But man, I mean, first of all, thanks for taking the time for watching. Hopefully, you picked up some cool Pokemon knowledge. Always great to have our resident PokeProf Jim here for that. And yeah, let's just congrats if you won something. If you happen to be the winner of this first edition Charizard PSA 10, major congrats. If you want something, you'll be emailed about completing it, getting it moved to your collection, all the logistics to follow. But
such a fitting day for this auction and for this card to sell. It wasn't intentionally done this way, but Today is a very special day in Pokemon history. Jeff, you want to add a little bit more color there?
Yeah, no, and I mentioned this earlier, so apologies if this is redundant, but yeah, January 9th, 1999, 26 years ago today, the day that Pokemon Base Set released in the US. I think a lot of us have, maybe not like, we have great memories, maybe not of that day. I wasn't lined up buying them. I think it was slow drip for me. I probably didn't start collecting until like Shadowless Unlimited was, those two sets were kind of more in print. I wish I had started collecting when first edition was in the mix. But I mean, what a start of like an incredible era of collecting that has not really stopped in 26 years. And amazing to think about where it'll be in 50 years. The fact that it's 26 years later and there's been 3 sets in the last 2 months that people have been losing their minds over, like, just goes to show like nothing is slowing down with this part of the hobby and this TCG. So yeah,
100%.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Have a great rest of your day and weekend, and we'll see you on the next stream, whatever that is.
Cool.
Later, guys.
See you, everyone.